All right, let's bring in Matt Johnson. He is in Massachusetts outside the courthouse covering this for us from start to finish. Matt, I guess let's start with today we saw these defense experts, these witnesses to be possibly for the defense, but we didn't get an answer from the judge just yet.
Ted, Julia, good afternoon. So it's a big day, and Judge Beverly Cannoni on week 8 of this trial, she's going to be making a decision as to the scope and who will testify for the defense with the 3 experts that were questioned outside of the presence of the jury today. So we'll learn that Thursday morning. These are the experts that were on the stand as we've been watching together. That's the 2 crash reconstructionists. And also the big wild card is Dr. Marie Russell, retired physician, former pathologist, a former police officer, and one of the 3 experts who published opinions about dog bites. She reviewed the injuries on John O'Keefe's arm and his medical records. She told the judge that she would testify to this. Take a listen.
Were you able to confidently come to any conclusions or opinions about the nature of the injuries suffered by John O'Keefe, specifically as they relate to John O'Keefe's right arm?
Yes.
What is your opinion and conclusion concerning those injuries?
Those injuries appear to be consistent with an animal attack.
Can you be more specific in terms of the type of animal, or are you relegated to simply an animal attack?
Well, they are consistent with a large dog attack. There's a combination of both what I consider bite wounds and scratch wounds on the arm. There were also some puncture wounds in that shirt. There are several patterns of parallel wounds that appear to be superficial scratches that could have been caused by nails or could have been caused by teeth. There are different angles on the arm and different locations on the arm, and but they're generally oriented in a specific direction. And there's also an area, the distal forearm, which is close to the wrist, which shows what I believe is an arch area of teeth marks.
Now, Dr. Russell is someone that the Commonwealth learned about in May after the doctor contacted the defense team and said that she could be useful given her background and having been published about the dog bites that she has studied. She said that there was over 500 that over the course of her career in LA County. So the Commonwealth says it's a Rule 14 violation. They feel like she shouldn't be able to testify at all. Here's those arguments.
Commonwealth is requesting that her testimony in its entirety be excluded from this trial.
And I don't think the sanction of exclusion is necessary or appropriate to punish Ms. Reed from having an experienced witness testify in rebuttal. We have contrary evidence, and Ms. Reed should be entitled to present that evidence. And I don't believe that the Commonwealth has made out a prejudice that they can't overcome. It's late. Obviously, Mr. Lally is a skilled lawyer. There's nothing to say that he can't or hasn't been able to prepare for the cross-examination or for an examination in front of the jury. And I just don't think exclusion is appropriate.
I would submit that her testimony should be relegated to simply what, if any, opinions, her experience, obviously, and then what, if any, opinions she draws with regard to the causation of the injuries on the right arm.
So again, Judge Cannoni will not render her decision until Thursday morning. We'll learn if she will testify, Dr. Russell. But, you know, the Commonwealth has been told to be prepared to start today. They're going to have 1 week to find a rebuttal witness.
Oh, wow. And Matt, I know there's something that you do for us every day. You try to get a comment from the defendant in this case. You try all the parties, and she is one who often does speak to you, and I understand she spoke to you today. What's that reaction?
Right. You know, we asked to speak with John O'Keefe's family each and every day. They're still not speaking to the media. They're asking for distance. We respect that. But defense attorneys and Karen Reed do occasionally speak to us and answer our questions. Today, she was asked a question as to her reaction so far, day 27, week 8 of the trial, and the evidence against her. Here's what she told our cameras.
There is no case against me.
After 8 weeks.
After 8 weeks, it's smoke and mirrors, and it's going through my private life and trying to contrive a motive that was never there.
Have you thought about what it would be like to be on the witness stand yourself?
Yeah, I have. I'd like to fill in some holes and correct some lies, but it's up to the attorneys, and they'll make the call probably at the 11th hour, and I'm there or not there.
You're lobbying, though, for your chance to testify?
I'm an outspoken person, and I've never not been able to speak up for myself and my defense, except when it matters the most. I've got to rely on them and their expertise, and I'll defer to the attorneys.
And she has told me off camera several times that she is prepared for her defense case to begin. She's been waiting for more than a year and a half for this moment, and she's ready to take the stand if her attorneys feel that she should.
All right, Matt Johnson, thank you for that live report there in Dedham, Massachusetts. I know we'll be hearing from you later on in the day. Let's bring in our guests to discuss what we have seen so far today. This day off for the jury, but day on for the parties. In Los Angeles, California, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Marie Pereira. Marie, I first want to get your reaction to Karen Reed's words. We've heard from her several times outside of the courthouse, but what she said just now to reporters about being offended that this is her private life is being raked through by the prosecution, by this case. Do you think her words at the scene put a lot of that at issue when she herself thought there was a possibility that she could have hit John O'Keefe?
I think it does, and I think at this point her attorneys should be telling her not to speak. Karen Reed is getting to be a little annoying. She seems really arrogant, and her entire demeanor in the courtroom could turn off the jurors. So she needs to stop feeling herself, be quiet, and at the end of the day, make that decision to testify or not at the end, like she says. But stop looking so confident and cocky. It's not helping her.
Interesting. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it is her choice, but she has already said repeatedly that it's going to be up to her attorneys. She'll take their advice as to whether or not to take the stand. I wouldn't want her on the stand because of the statements that she did make early on. Is she going to say, oh, no, I never said that? I mean, so many people have testified. I heard her say, did I hit him? Did I hit him? It doesn't matter how, if it was a question or a statement. She has to cop to that, right, Marie? I mean, there's enough Karen Reed already in this case for her to take the stand. I would think as a jury, you're going to be evaluating her in a way that she doesn't need. There's already an evaluation of Proctor and all these other people. Let it lie.
You know what? It's a tough decision, and she is right that it's going to be made at the 11th hour. But it could hurt her because all of this, I didn't do it, I never said it, the jurors may want to hear from her. And although she has the right to remain silent, and the judge is going to say not to use it against her either way, her not coming on to put on her defense could be problematic because she was so vocal about it and remains vocal till the end. Until now, she's still talking. So they're going to wonder, sis, all of that and we don't get to hear from you? And no matter how many admonishments they give, not to hold it against her, the jurors are going to say, okay, what's up with this? We needed to hear from you.
Yeah, it's a good point, especially, a strong personality in that courtroom for so many days. You know, the 20 plus, it's going to be over 30 days. Yeah, Marie's right. Yeah, you just, from a human standpoint, it's like, I want to hear from that lady.
You want to hear from her. We understand from Alan Jackson when he was speaking to those reporters outside that he said he's going to start either Thursday or Friday, and it's going to take 3 days for him to put on his defense case. That's a significant amount of time for a defense case.
Yeah, absolutely.